That's it. I don't miss it. I miss the filming, not the editing.
Yeah. That's the bit I hate.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So edit. So it's in edit. My life's in edit.
That's what I told you to take the time.
Okay.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
So I know that you've got sort of a real story behind you, especially helpful for people who have children that...
Can we just start that again, actually? Just because I don't
Yeah.
think we've got a lot of rapping noise,
Yeah.
people moving.
Take it all
so-
out and finish it. Take it all out.
Yeah.
Can you help
Do
me?
what you got to do.
Just take it all out.
But you've got to play it, obviously.
Take it all out.
Alright?
That's
So-
it. And get rid of the wrapper. Thank you very much.
All right. So if you can man, oh no, so yeah, you're good. That's okay. All right, Nicole.
Hi, Sema. So I know you've got a bit of a story, your journey with your 12-year-old son, who we're very excited to hear more about, but also one that's helpful for parents that have children whose kind of needs are not so noticeable by others within communities, but also by the system at large. And obviously you've got a real story about how you managed to get your son's needs met, even though he's not so noticeable on the outside of what his needs are.
I mean, basically, I'm a single parent of two. I've got a 13-year-old daughter who's a social butterfly, always loves school, lots of friends. My son has always struggled with life in school. At the age of 1, he develops serious obsessions with vacuum cleaners. I love the sounds and sights of a vacuum cleaner. And I've got some pictures here, but basically we go on holiday and we follow the cleaner around the hotel, which is here. And he's just loved vacuums, yeah. His passion, and initially we thought it was really endearing, and then after a while, what was quirky started making us a little bit worried, because that's all he could talk about, that's all he wants to play with. Isolated socially, so...
There's always Henry.
Yep, there's always Henry. So I spoke to my health visitor, and he was diagnosed with Asperger's at the age of 4.5. And then what followed, really, I mean, my background's Turkish Cypriot, so my family, a traditional Turkish Cypriot family. Girls wear pink and play with dolls. Boys love sport and love football, and, you know, shouldn't be doing any girly things. So, of course, you know, that we had a big reaction, and some of them said, actually, there's nothing wrong with him, it's just your parenting skills. If you didn't buy him all those toy hoovers when he was young, he wouldn't be like this. Other people, like my ex-husband, who's Turkish from mainland Turkey, kept showing me articles about pills you can give him to stop him being Asperger's, autistic. So prayers, you know, lots of prayers. Someone's put a voodoo to do, you know, to putting a curse on the family, and I had all of that. And the shame and blame, it's kind of, when he goes out, make sure he doesn't behave like that. You know, don't sit like that, don't do this. And the blame, you know, my parenting skills, or, you know, it's, if you didn't buy him a toy vacuum, he'd be fine, and all of that stuff. So that was all really difficult, because a lot of ignorance, because when you get the diagnosis, you go through shock, despair, denial. It took me so long to come to terms with the diagnosis. And it's a hidden disability, it really is, because when you look at him, he looks like any other neurotypical child. Good looking, I think, but I'm biased. Good looking, amazing vocabulary, and he interacts well with adults really well. But fundamentally, Asperger's, he can't play with other children. He doesn't know how to play with other children. Isolated in a world of his own, black and white thinking, and his obsessions, you know, just dominate his whole day. So he wakes up in the morning, first thing he wants to do is go on the computer Googling vacuum cleaners.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I do a great day out. He's going to Curry's and with a Tupperware full of rice, flour, and salt, and he's putting it all down and he's trying out the different vacuums. And he's like, Mum, look at the agitation on this. Look at the hose, and it's like, oh God, how long it is like the number of times I've been to Curry's this holiday, you know, and so it takes over that household and. Basically, so we had this diagnosis, reaction of the family, not very supportive, and at school. So let's move on to school. So he has been school phobic all his life until a year ago. From day one, he's been to 2 primary schools, so it wasn't just that he wasn't at a good primary school. First primary school, second primary school, the same pattern. Hated school, absolutely hated school. The effort I had to go through to get him into the school in the mornings. He hated Sunday, but he had school the next day. Every night, morning of school, crying, screaming, meltdowns. I hate school. I wish I was dead. I'm going to throw myself in front of this car. I'm going to stab myself. School is like being in a bar full of mouse traps. And his hatred of school just got worse and worse. So he'd like, on his calendar, on his diary, every little piece of paper is F school, you know, sort of swear words, obscenities. And this is such a lovely, bright, sensitive, cute little boy suddenly saying, I'm going to burn the school building down. I hate school, I hate it. So I'd literally be screaming, shouting, and I'd push him in, you have to go to school, you know, you'll find once you're there. It's like day in, day out, day in, day out. 7 years. I mean, that takes its toll on a parent. Whenever I spoke to school about it, you tiptoe in kind of politely and just say, I just wanted to say that I had a really bad time last night. You know, and it's, oh, he's fine once he's in. He's manipulating you. You know, what's the matter? You need a good night out. That's what you need. You're a bit neurotic and protective, aren't you? So so after a while, the school relationship with school became really confrontational.
Was that the actual case? In school, when he actually got in school, you'd gone. How was he?
Well, I hired a private educational psychologist, so, and she phoned me up from the school and said, you know what, you're not going to win this case because he's happy in school. And so I was like, is it me? Who is it? Is he clever? Is he lying to me? Is he kind of really happy at school? But she said, I'm just going to come home and debrief you on the day. And then as soon as she got to the house, he had a major meltdown. Oh my God. Yeah. Aggressive, you know, huge meltdown. She's, wow, now I see it.
So she hasn't seen it before?
No, but in school, because that's the thing with the children with Asperger's, he's very polite, he doesn't want to offend, he does the right things, he doesn't want to be singled out. So he'll have this tantrum, his tears will be, and then he walks in, wipes his tears. Hello, Mrs. Smith. How are you today? And then he'd come out and it's like, oh, this happened, I was bullied. Because he was being bullied daily. They were calling him spastic, disabled, stupid, idiot. So he was holding it all together at school and then he'd come home and then out. But this was a pattern of 7 years. One Friday he got, school hated me, staff didn't like me at all. It's like, oh God, here she comes again. It's like, and on one particular Friday he went into school